Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? This is Scott Lindstrom. You're hanging on Freedom Fridays with the Influence Tribe, and we have got a really special guest tonight, hailing all the way from Florida. This gentleman is a New Zealander, and he is a family man, and he is rocking it in his business with Twitter. Now, yes, this 140 characters little micro blog is responsible for getting 300 plus followers per day. So we had the pleasure of having Clive on tonight. But before I bring him on, I want to introduce my wingman, Miguel Fuentes. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I am exceptional, my friend. I'm super duper pumped. I'm super excited. I'll tell you why. I love Clive. Clive is a great guy. I've had so much fun with him. We've had drinks and beers and hung out at swanky parties out in Austin, Texas with all kinds of 7-8 figure marketers. We just rub elbows together. And I've spent so much time with Clive, and I know he's a great guy, and he's smart, very smart. And he's ready to rock this thing. He's going to be talking Twitter, and Twitter is a big deal. So pay attention. Like, if you've ever been confused about what to do on Twitter, because it used to confuse me, honestly. It really did. Like, I would see that feed, and it's going so fast, and you get like 100 notifications an hour, and there's all these stuff flying everywhere. And like, I was like, oh, what do I do with all of this? But Clive's got it figured out. Like Scott said, he's been killing it, like 300 plus followers a day. He's getting huge lead counts. I saw one just like last week with some insane number, and I don't even want to repeat it. So, but guys, just pay attention. Just plug in here. Plug in with us for the next hour. Plug in with Clive. Make sure you're watching this if you're serious about getting any results or real results with Twitter. And when you do have that feeling, and you will, you'll be ready to join. You'll be ready to find out what community we're a part of, what system we promote, and you're going to want to know. You're going to want to know for yourself. When you do, there's a button. I think it might be over there or over there. I'm not quite sure. I can't see the page right now, but there's a big yellow button that says I'm ready to get results. And you are ready to get results. Go find that button, click it, fill out the form, take your $10 test drive, join our community, and be a part of everything we have going on. So I'm super excited. Clive's a great friend to our community, a real leader in our community, and has just helped us so much. So I want to bring him out. Scott, do you want to bring him out, or can I bring him out?
Dude, bring him out. You bring him out like nobody else.
Welcome, Clive, Mr. Clive Jeffrey. Come on out, sir. Thank you for hanging out with us this evening. For those of you that don't, for the people that don't know you, please tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and all of that stuff. How did you get in the community, in the marketing?
Cool. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Miguel and Scott, for having me here. It's always fun to hang out with you guys, and a real privilege to be invited on to share some training with your audience. I really appreciate that. And yes, I've been in the home business industry now for a couple of years, just over. Prior to that, I was in New Zealand with my family. With my wife, we had a printing and graphic design business, which we ran for 23 years until we sold it in 2013. And then we decided to move to the States. I'd actually met my wife over here in 1984, and while I was backpacking around the world, and ended up taking her back to New Zealand as a souvenir. And then we started out there and built the printing business up from scratch. But we were sick and tired of it after all that time, and then we used to come back regularly to the States to visit my in-laws, and our kids were here. I think it was 2012. Our kids said, look, they really wanted to finish school here. I was sick of the printing business, so we thought, what the hell, you only live once. So we sold up and moved over here, but they're from Maryland, and that was too cold, so we chose Florida, and been here ever since. So and that's basically when I got into the home business industry. I fell into it by accident. Like most people, joined an MLM opportunity, which seemed great, didn't know much or anything about it. Quickly found out that being in a new country and not knowing anyone, I really was stuck with how to promote this business. So I went online and came across this wonderful marketing community that we're all a part of. And basically haven't looked back. It's sort of given me the backbone. I've always been in sales and marketing with my printing and graphic design business. So this has enabled me to learn the skills to take my sales and marketing skills online, essentially. So it's sort of going from totally offline to going totally online. And, for those of you watching that are sort of thinking about making this move, I had no technical skills whatsoever. I practically, without exaggeration, couldn't copy and paste. I'd never used a smartphone. I'd only had one of those flip phone things. And so everything I've learned has been in the last couple of years. So you can teach an old dog new tricks. I say that, but there's a caveat, and that is that if you get yourself around a community of people that are and training and put in the work to do it, it doesn't come. It's simple, but it's not easy. So if you get yourself in amongst a community of people that are working towards similar goals, it makes it enjoyable and effortless, really. And with the platform that we market with, you're learning that state of the art techniques and strategies all the time, and we are able to leverage off that. And then now, basically, the philosophy behind this system is to invest, learn, and teach. So once we learn something, they strongly encourage us to go out and learn it by implementing it ourselves, get a result, and then go on and teach it. And that's essentially what we're here to do tonight. One of the strategies that I've been working with is Twitter, and been getting some good results with it. I started on Twitter. My main account actually started in 2010 and didn't do anything for years. And at the beginning of this year, I started implementing a strategy that was working, but I wasn't really getting any significant results. But I was doing it really from what I see now, wasn't correct, because the whole philosophy behind the way we market and learn is attraction marketing. And for those of you who don't know what attraction marketing is essentially putting out value in the marketplace. And by value, I mean content or answers to questions and problems that our target market is having. So we're talking about home business owners here. So we provide value to them. And the biggest pain points that we've identified in the home business profession is leads and sales. And that's what we go about, showing you how to generate leads and sales. So if you're looking to learn how to do that, you're in the right place tonight. So with that little summary, I'll get into the training,
Awesome. Are you gonna tell us why Twitter? Why should we market on Twitter?
It's all part of the training.
Okay, awesome. Very cool. I'm ready to go. I'm super excited.
I'm gonna share and go into some slides. If you can just let me know that you can see them, and feel free to ask questions or jump in at any stage. And if I'm not making sense, please let me know. Okay, let's get into it. So first of all, we basically just covered that who is Clive Jeffrey. I've been run through it. This is my lovely wife, Dawn, and my daughter, Jess, and my son, Scott. This was just down here in St. Augustine, Florida. So no more needs to be said about that. So basically, why Twitter? Twitter itself, was created back in 2006, and people have basically written it off, but of late with the things like Snapchat, Instagram, all those kind of new platforms coming out. But just as these reasons, I'm going to run through some stats as to why Twitter is still very relevant and why I think it's worth you investing some time to learn it. Predominantly, if you're looking back to what I was saying before about me being not very technically adept, shall we say, I like this Twitter because you don't have to have any tech skills whatsoever. So, but look at that, $595 million in the first quarter of this year alone. So it's nothing to be sneezed at. It has 3,900 employees. There are 310 million monthly active users on Twitter. 29.2% of US social media users use Twitter. 80% of those active users are on mobile. So everyone has their phone with them. So basically, if you want to get where your audience is at, Twitter's not a bad place or platform to use because they're carrying their phones around with them, which means they've got their Twitter account with them. And 83% of the world's leaders use it. And just look how, love him or hate him, old Donald Trump, how effective he was and what he could do with Twitter. There's more than 500 million tweets sent every day. So that's 6,000 every second, which is obviously, it's good and it's also bad because there's a lot of noise out there. So how do we differentiate and get ourselves seen out there, which is all something that we're going to go over here. 65% of US companies with 100 employees or more use Twitter for their marketing. and this is a stat that I really like, that 54% of those surveyed reported that they'd taken action after seeing a brand mentioned in a tweet, including visiting websites and searching for the brand or retweeting the content. So as far as viral marketing goes, Twitter is a great platform. Plus that interactivity, you can't complain about a 54% usage like that, actually looking at the content. Tweets with images, this is another interesting point. Tweets with images receive 18% more click-throughs and 89% more likes and 150% more retweets. And this grew 208% year on year. So from 2014 to 2015, so that's massive growth there. So, don't be deluded into thinking that Twitter's becoming irrelevant, because the stats, they really don't lie. So, as I mentioned before, alluded to, attraction marketing is the best way to grow your business online. So as Miguel and I have both mentioned, we use this marketing platform, and it's called MLSP. And what you're going to need, if you want to implement this strategy, there's going to be certain things that you want to do with this platform. And if you can just reach out to Miguel or Scott, and they'll be able to get you going with that trial that Miguel was talking about. And I can't recommend it highly enough. And after you go through this training, you will see why it's just literally a no-brainer to contact Miguel and Scott to get your trial underway. Attraction marketing is basically becoming the hunted, where you become the hunted, and as opposed to being the hunter. So what that means is that instead of having to actively go out and chase people down, we all started going online because either you're sick and tired of talking to friends and family, or you just didn't have anyone to talk to like I did, so you needed to go online. And that's where, by creating content, content that solves problems that your target market is having, you create value, and you get seen as an authority, and people will seek you out as a trusted figure that they want to learn more from. And because of the value that you're providing, we normally do this to get their contact information, so it's a fair exchange, and then we can still continue to build our relationships with the people via email using our autoresponders, and that way they're more likely to become to know, like, and trust us, and then end up doing business with us. And we do this by providing content. And as I mentioned before, content can be videos, it can be blog posts, it can be just your social media posts. And what I use Twitter for is to basically distribute all the content that I produce, so that I don't have to worry about things like SEO. So content without eyeballs on it is basically worthless. So if you go to all the trouble of producing a blog post that nobody sees, you might as well be at the movies. There's no other way to put it. So online marketing is all about traffic, and traffic means, whether it's an offline store or offline business. If you've got no one coming through your doors, you're basically not in business. So there's different ways to get traffic online. We can use search engine optimization, or SEO for short. We can use like Google ads, Facebook ads, Facebook groups, and Instagram. There's also Snapchat, obviously. But I basically just want to mention the different options. But again, this is all revolving around why Twitter and why I like Twitter. Firstly, I just want to quickly go through SEO, search engine optimization. Again, from my standpoint, being a baby boomer with no technical skills, SEO is very technical, not for the faint-hearted. There's no half measures. You either do it and you do it full out. There's no try. It takes time to implement, and it also takes time to take effect. There's lots of competition. So, everyone wants to be number one on Google, and there's only 10 spots there. So let's face it, if you look at your own habits, how often do you even look past the third listing on the front page of Google? If you're anything like me, I'd say seldom, if ever. So, again, 10 spots there. So by using Twitter, I can get my content in front of my target audience on a regular basis, and I'm going to show you how shortly. Google Ads, it again works well. Same thing, steep learning curve, can be an expensive learning process. And also, once you stop advertising, the traffic stops, That's the one thing it has over SEO is that it's instant, much like Facebook ads, same sort of thing. It's effective, but steep learning curve. It can be expensive if you don't know what you're doing. There's strict rules, and I know myself and a bunch of other people have had their ad accounts shut down without warning because we broke a few of the rules that we were unaware of. So, and then you're literally not going to get your account back. You have to go through, set up different accounts, and it's a pain in the butt, really. But if anyone's stuck and needs to do it, let me know, because hey, I've had experience on that. And again, once you stop advertising, your traffic stops. Whereas with Twitter, you can put it on an automated rotation, and it's great. It never stops working. It keeps your content evergreen. Facebook groups, again, it's another good one. They work, but it has its limits. There's strict rules, and if you end up posting too much or something like that, you're going to end up in Facebook jail. It's time consuming to post manually, and Facebook doesn't like automated tools that automatically post for you. Same with Instagram, and Miguel, you can probably back me up with this. I don't do Instagram, but it has also limits. It's owned by Facebook, so it also frowns on automation. There are automation tools, but I've been told to use them at your peril. I don't use Instagram, but I know a lot of people that do, and they get absolutely amazing results. Everything that I've mentioned here works, and it works well. But the reason I like Twitter is because of the non-techie aspect of it, and that's what I'm going to show you. That's the strength of it, and it's basically free, and it can be automated. So that's why I like it. It's non-techie, can be automated, it's scalable, and it keeps working while you sleep, and it's free. So it's all, again, now, whatever we're doing, whatever strategy we discussed, if you were using there, you'd come back to this 3-step marketing plan. And what you need to do to work online is you need to create an audience, build your audience. You need to then engage with your audience, and then you need to monetize that audience. And those 3 steps are what we concentrate on with any strategy that we're using. Those are the 3 things you need to keep in the front of your mind if you're wanting to build an online business. So we're going to use Twitter to do just that. And we're basically using a 2-step process with Twitter. The first one is the distribution of content. Now, these are tools that I use. The first one is Social Jukebox, which I use for the distribution of my content. And the other one is to build my audience, and that is Status Brew. Now, these aren't affiliate links. They are just straight links to these tools. They are paid tools. Now, from memory, they are very inexpensive, and I think combined it's about $22 a month. But for the value, so if you think, $22 wouldn't even pay for a couple of Facebook ads for the day, and you could lose that money in an hour. Whereas this works for a full month, 24 hours a day for the same $22. So again, you want to weigh up, and this strategy pretty much implements. Once you start implementing it, it sort of works right from day one. There's no sort of waiting time like SEO where you're waiting for your stuff to kick in when you're building backlinks and all that kind of stuff. So let's rip into it. Basically, now what I'm going to do is just take you back and show you my Twitter page.
I'm going to take this opportunity to mention I am on Instagram Live Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Cool. Yeah. Now,
dropping tips and giving shout outs.
As I mentioned it, people get great results from it, and it's just, for me personally, you can what we get taught in MLSP is to pick one strategy until you've mastered it, and we all pick different ones, and that's the beauty of it. So yeah, don't think that because I'm doing Twitter and you're on Instagram that you should drop that and do Twitter, or vice versa. Stick with what you're comfortable with. But the strategies you'll find are very similar. What the process that you go through, are very similar. So let's keep going, eh? Firstly,
let's keep rocking.
Yeah, my Twitter profile. Twitter profiles are very, very important for a number of reasons. Firstly, it's your real estate for your Twitter profile, your Twitter accounts, your profile. So when people come check you out, this is what they see. So you want to make sure that it tells them clearly what you're about and lets them know that they are in the right place. So obviously you can see there's quite clearly what I do. I've helped entrepreneurs get more leads and sales with real business strategies. So that I developed that from my business background, real business strategies coming to online entrepreneurs. So that's essentially where I came up with that. But it tells people where they can find me. Again, it just brings legitimacy to you. If this is just blank, or you don't have a proper profile picture, people are, you want to take advantage of these to build that know, like, and trust factor. people are very wary online. So the more credibility you can build, the better off you're going to be. The next thing you want to look at here is your bio. And again, this is it's make the most of it. And it's the same with Instagram. I'm sure Miguel will confirm. You've got a limited amount of space. Get a clear message in there and tweak it every now and then to see if you get better results. Everything you do, you should monitor and see what works for you and what doesn't. Slightest little change can make a big difference. And then I've got a link here for a training, again, keeping it all congruent. If I click on that, it takes me through to a Twitter training that I've done and pretty much what we're going to go through here tonight. But again, this capture page was made in a matter of minutes using MLSP, so you can see why it's so important to check out the system. So hit up Miguel and Scott, and they will get you to take a test drive, and you can build cool funnels like this in a matter of minutes.
It's very, very easy. I love the funnelizer software. It's absolutely. I've got several funnels that are built through funnelizer, and it's between that and sites. It's all you need. Absolutely, couldn't agree more.
Then I've also got on here my main blog, which people can click through on as well. So, okay, now just to make why this is so important, this is actually my secondary account that I'm on here, but that doesn't matter. What I'll show you here is I'm going to take you through to my analytics, and I just want to run through just to show you some of the results I've been getting over the last little while. So the last 28 days, 137,000 tweet impressions, which is up 306% from what I was doing before. This is the one I wanted to show you. Profile visits. In the last 28 days, 7,777 people have come to this profile. So with that amount of traffic coming here, you think it's important to have a relevant and a congruent offer to put in front of them, you bet it is. So I've also then got a pinned post at the top here, which is again taking them to a Twitter training. Because you're on Twitter, it's all relevant. And here you can see I've had 34 likes and 37 retweets. So that's again my content going viral of it, which has got my link on here to another Twitter training. This is just another variation of a capture page there. And I've got tracking links on these so I can monitor which ones work the best. But you can see 7,000 people coming to that. That's a lot of traffic, and that's for free. So you can see why it's important to take a bit of time to get your profile set up right. Just back in those stats again, in the last 28 days, 3,200 followers here. So a nice amount of followers, and 1,400 on this account in the last. This is just in December. So what's that? 15, 16 days. And the other thing when I was talking about your content distribution, you can see here my top tweet for the month of December is actually one of my blog posts. So you can see without having to wait for it to rank or everything, I'm getting it in front of my Twitter followers. And this account's got, how many followers have we got here? I think it was 7,000 something. So just go back to the profile. Yeah, 7,200 followers on this account. Wow. So being able to get my message, my tweets out to all those people, for free on a daily basis is just awesome. Just running through here, just the type of tweets that I do. And again, thinking about what those stats are at originally, picture tweets get the most interaction. So I've got mine, like I've got videos from my YouTube channel. Again, just quotes. So I do a lot of inspirational quotes. And again, now these are just all pure value. Even these Twitter ones, these video ones, they don't have to opt in to go and see the video. They can just go straight there. And in the description, I point them to different elements, different links in the descriptions which take them to different offers. So just purely value. It's like anything, you want to keep the 80-20 rule, 80% value, 20% business stuff. And I'm probably a little behind. I can actually probably implement a bit more direct offers into my stuff, but that's by the by, just thinking to myself. So just quickly, I'll run back to just show you my other profile. And this is how we scale. So as I said, that was my secondary account. I'm going to take you through to my main account now, and to look at them, you would hardly notice a difference, apart from you will notice the profile picture. The one had a cartoon character over here, or up there, and whereas this one's got my proper photo. and this one's got 8,300 followers. So that's it. I combined 15,000. So these two different accounts of completely different people. So they're completely different audience on each account. And I'll show you how we do that. We follow different people to create the different audiences. So essentially, I've got 15,000 people seeing my tweets each day. So even though I've got the same sort of tweets going here, that it's not people seeing the same stuff because it's a completely different audience. So we'll get through how we distribute this content now. But look, just quickly looking at these stats to give you further confirmation that this strategy works. Again, this one's got 174,000 tweet impressions over the last 28 days, up 254%. This one's at 8,800 profile visits and 3,700 followers over the last 28 days. 2,700 of those are just in December. So, you know, it's certainly working. And again, here, my top tweet is basically a value post there. So, no, very, very, very cool. So again, that post had 10 likes and 3 retweets. So again, viral content, you know, and this is basically all happening 24 hours a day, 7 days a week without having to do anything. Now, so how do we get those tweets? As you can see, the tweets are going out even while we've been here on the webinar. We use, as I mentioned, Social Jukebox to do that. And here's my account. And you just basically log into them using your Twitter account. Once you're logged into Twitter, you come in here and it automatically logs you in. There's no homepage as such. And then it has these things, what basically they call them jukeboxes. And each one of these is a different jukebox. So, for example, like I showed you, my picture quotes. It's basically just a list, which is this is the text part of the quote, and there's the image, and it basically goes on a random cycle, and it tweets them out literally round the clock, and you can set the schedule of how you want them to go out. I've always have a funny number, like these go out every hour, 1 hour 26 minutes. One of a tweet from that jukebox, which is the picture one, goes out. And each day I produce one of these and I just add it. So I've posted on Facebook and then I adjust the text to make it fit the 140 characters, and I come and bring it in here, and it's got a link to my blog. And so just I've got a motivational quote, a link to my blog, and a couple of hashtags that are relevant to my niche, which is the home business professional network marketing. So I've got this one, mindset, entrepreneur, MLM, and network marketing hashtags. And a link to my blog. So it's just continually driving traffic to my blog round the clock.
How many times would you estimate you post a day? Like, what would be a good quantity for somebody to expect to post? Like, how many times should you post a day, I guess, is a good question.
Basically, Twitter, I've heard from like Mark Lalonde saying that he's got his down. He's been posting every 5 minutes. But he's got like hundreds of thousands of followers on each account. And I think you get more leeway with the more followers. I would suggest not going closer than 20 minutes. That's what I've heard is supposed to be a good sweet spot. Now, because we're automating these things, you can't, if you don't have enough tweets and you've got it set too close together, it's just going to get an error because what I'll just show you here in my say, for example, on those picture quotes again, if I look at my schedule here, they go out, as I said, every 126 hour, 1 hour every 26 minutes, but then I've got it set, they don't repeat them for at least 5 days. So I've got a few, hundreds of them there, so there's enough to do that. But if you'd have to reduce the number, everything would just repeat more and just look more spammy, if you like, or just more repetitive and automated. So the whole idea of what we're doing here is to try and not look automated, even though we are. So if that makes sense.
How many posts are in there, Clive?
So as I say,
I guess
there's 234 here in my picture post, and as I say, I do a new one each day and just add to it. Then we go back here. Then I've got my my YouTube tweets. So these basically are the ones from my videos, which has got this basically. So every time I produce a video on YouTube, I write actually 3 different tweets to the same video. So there's just slightly different wording, and then it puts it here, randomizes it in the list. So every time I add it, it just randomly introduces it into the list. So it just, it's just to get more traffic to your videos. So this one here, you know what, I've got 210 tweets going out, but it's probably there's not that many videos. Although I've got over 300 videos on my YouTube channel, I haven't got around to putting them on here yet. So each time I do a new video each day, I write 3 tweets for it and add them in here. So like if I do a Facebook Live, then I upload it to my YouTube channel, make 3 tweets, and then it's, because otherwise if you do a YouTube Live, 24 hours and it's gone out of your feed and nobody sees it ever again. So, but this way, I keep driving them back to today. Now I can send them to watch it on Facebook, or I can send them to watch it on YouTube, and I'll randomize that as well. So it's driving traffic wherever you want it, basically, just to wherever you want to put the link. So very, very cool indeed. So that
awesome. So
that's my video ones at 210 there. And again, same thing. This one's I've got scheduled to go out every 3 hours and 23 minutes. And I can actually reduce that now because I've got more. I only had like 30 of them up there when I did it before, when I first put them up. Now the MLSP blog, I'm starting to build one here. So every time MLSP puts out a blog, I produce a tweet for it and put it in here. And that's just going to add more value, and obviously we've got our links on those too. So that's just going to be another list. And this one I've got scheduled, it's probably every 4 hours, 37 minutes. And it will repeat, because again, there's only so few, again, 5 days there. And just quickly run through my own, this is my own blog, tweets from that. I'm busy setting that up too. I've only got 30 records here, so 30 different blog posts. So it's just a matter of, as I say, I've only been using the strategy now for 3-4 weeks. So, it's been working really well. So it takes a bit of time to get it set up. But then once you do have it set up, it literally takes you, less than half an hour today to implement. So this is basically what we've done here on Social Jukebox, is how you distribute your content. So all these tweets are basically what I showed you coming down here. This one's actually from my blog. So if you click on that link, that's actually taking you through to that Twitter training. This one here, I think I always just throw a link in that just takes me, it drives traffic. I think that's going to go to my blog. Yep, that's to my blog. This one goes to a video. So again, you'll see this is, and this one again, it'll just go to my blog. This one, what is an MLM company? Again, just all catering to our niche, providing value. They click on that, it's going to take them straight through to my YouTube channel. It's just a good way of making your content evergreen without, again, I've got them done. I've set up SEO on the videos, but you still have to wait for people to go and find them. But this way, you're driving traffic there all the time. So it's really, really cool. So that's how what I use the Social Jukebox to distribute the content. And as I say, it does it round the clock. It takes a bit of getting set up, but once you do, it's set and forget basically. So it's worth, taking, digging in and set it. Then you just keep adding to it every day. I'm just adding a little bit more, one more brick, and it's just building this library of people that I can get my content in front of, and which then by doing the next strategy as well, which is the building of the actual audience, which we're going to go on to next, it gets the new people coming here as well. So let's go check that out.
Was there anything that really tipped it over as far as Social Jukebox go? Like, have you made any tweaks that made a significant difference in how it was producing?
Yes, by taking and putting the value as opposed to just having spammy links. Because before I was just all to capture pages. Every tweet was to a capture page. So now I've probably gone too far. I've swung in the opposite direction. I don't have enough of those, so I can probably, I've got room to add some more, and because I've been providing so much value. But the thing is that my following's been growing and the interaction's been growing so much because I've changed that way from going. I literally probably had it the other way around. I had 20% value, 80% opt-in posts, and now I've consciously made the big effort to reverse that, and it's made all the difference in the world. And you've all got content now. You've got your Instagram stuff, you've got your YouTube videos, even your obviously stuff that should be in this rotation is your Influence Tribe webinars, that type of stuff. Perfect way to get it out there and sharing it with people who need to see the information. So that, I would say, is the biggest breakthrough, I guess I found, was
Clive.
getting away from spammy posts.
Clive, real quick. This is just kind of a fun thing. Ray Tarlay wants to know, when did Clive realize he was so awesome?
I haven't yet, so thanks for telling me, Ray.
I think Ray just wanted a shout out on the Hangout. So
Yeah,
there you go.
He deserves
Rock,
one.
Ray Tarlay.
If you haven't checked him out, go check him out. Ray Tarlay.
He's awesome.
He is. He's awesome. That was basically how we distribute the content. Now we're going to look at how we find our audience. So basically, well, let's go back to my Twitter account here. So because I'm in the home business profession, but if you're in weight loss or anything else, travel, what you do is you find I like to find either high-profile individuals within that niche or companies within that niche. So, for example, the ones that we're going to work with tonight, I'm going to look for Eric Worre. I'm sure if you're on this webinar, you know who Eric Worre is. He's basically, nicknamed the Godfather of network marketing. He is the man. What's he got here? He's got 72,000 followers on this account. So what I do is I just copy his Twitter handle, which is @EricWorre there. I copy that and I bring it back over to my Status Brew. Where is it gone? Status Brew account, and I add it as a source because I want to use. So logic says that his followers are obviously going to be interested in network marketing, home business, because they're following Eric Worre. And there's an unwritten law with Twitter that if you follow someone, they follow you back. So the theory we work on is that they're going to do that. So we follow people and then they follow us back. And the fact that we know that they are, like in this instance, fans of Eric Worre and the home, which means network marketing in the home business profession, they're highly targeted. I couldn't wish to speak to a more highly targeted audience. So how easy is it to find people? But now also, just to show you again a bit of variety, I want to look at a company again. So if I look at a high profile network marketing company like Herbalife, now that company's been around for a while. And they've got 290,000 followers. So again, the people following Herbalife are either you could follow them for two reasons. They're going to be into weight loss, or they're going to be a good percentage of them are going to be because they're network marketers either within Herbalife or not. But so they're a great source of contacts as well. So we'll copy them and we were going to use them as a source too. So hopefully that makes sense as to how, no matter what niche you're in, doesn't have to be home business. So if you were in mortgages, for example, you would know you could either look for mortgage companies, you could look for banks, you could look for high profile, if there's such a thing as a high profile mortgage broker or something along those lines, someone that your target audience would be interested in. That you want to follow those kind of people. So Twitter sets certain rules. You can only follow, let's just go back to my account here. You can only follow a certain number of people. Basically, there's a limit. If you're just starting out, you can only follow 5,000 people. But then after you're following 5,000, you can follow a certain percentage. And I think it's like 10% over and above of what the percentage of the people that are following you, if that makes sense. I think that's what it is. So because not everyone follows you back, it's important to get rid of the followers that don't. So that's the first thing I do whenever I log onto Status Brew each day, is I go onto each account and I just come up here and I click on that and I look for people that aren't following me back. And then I set the limit here. I normally do it for 3 days. It's like if they haven't followed me back in 3 days, then they're probably not going to. So that's it. They're out of here. So I just start unfollowing them. Now you can literally just click through like this and unfollow them. But I've got this fancy tool that one of our mentors, Todd Getz, gave us, and I can pass it on to you if someone wants this fancy tool, which basically just allows me, I just literally hold down my control key and my left key, and you can just see it just going through and deleting them. There's no limit on the number that you can delete. So I just sit here at the top right and counter here. You can just oversee here. I've unfollowed 876 today, and I normally do 1,000 to say for each account. So I'll just show you, we've already done over 100, and now we're mid 900s, and we're just about to clock over to, well, that's all I can unfollow anyway, because that's the limit, 947. There's none others that fall within that category. So that's all I have to do for today. And then I'm going to go over to my other account, which is this account, and it's do the same thing. So people not following me back, and I'm going to set the parameter at 3 days. And again, these people haven't followed me back, so I'm going to unfollow them. As I say, we're looking for people that are, there are a good, I think it's like, I forget what the percentage is. It's like probably 20 or 30% of Twitter accounts are inactive, even though there's 1.4, it's like 1.45 billion Twitter accounts, but 20-30% of them are inactive. So you want to follow active ones. So again, here you can see I'm just about to cross the 1,000 mark of people that I've unfollowed for today. You can see up the counter up there. So that's enough for me. So now that because I've unfollowed people, that gives me room now to follow more people. So what do? We go back over here, and as I mentioned, what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a profile that I'm going to work with. So, and I'm going to follow Eric Worre. So I'm going to choose this profile. It's going to basically, you can see up here, it's going to be Eric Worre's followers. So now what I want to do is, obviously, as I mentioned before, I want to set some parameters. I don't want to just blindly follow all his followers. I want people that are going to be, they're going to be active. So the first stipulation I'm going to find is that I want obviously someone that's not following me. So you can see it's going to go through and sorted those out. But then now you see like there's things here with not even a profile picture, and they tweeted 3 days ago or 17 minutes ago. So those ones aren't too bad, but I like to set some rules. So what I do is I come over here, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set it onto fast follow. That's fast unfollow. I'm going to set it to fast follow, which basically means it brings that little button up under my mouse each time. So if I click on that, all I have to do is click on the next one. It's right under there. But this is what I'm getting here. You can set parameters. So like you can set the number of followers that they have, or the number of people they're following, and if they're on any lists. And all you do is you slide this little thing up along here, and but I just leave those. That to me doesn't. They might just be starting out, and that's the kind of person I want to help. So I don't have any stipulation there. But what I do have is that I want them to be active. So I always set it. I want them to do 5 tweets a day, and so it's going to go through and filter that out. So it basically the thing is the other filters that I'm going to put on there is that I don't want to follow back people that I've followed before, because obviously that's just going to annoy them, and then they could report me to Twitter, and that's the last thing we want. I want them to have a profile picture. I want them to have a public profile, and I want them to speak English. I don't want any profiles that aren't in English. So you can just basically work your way through there and just do common sense things like that. You know, what I'm not going to go through, but I'll just show you. So here you can see here, tweeted within the last number of days. I always put maybe a few days. You can put that there, but I don't want to do it as I'm going to go through the whole thing. Then it gives you some more demographics here. It's like, again, I want public profiles. It doesn't have to be, I don't care if it's verified or non-verified account. I don't even know what that means. I want them to have a public profile with an avatar. The time zones, again, doesn't matter. It works around the clock. And I exclude people that have that I've blocked, and also exclude pending requests. So you don't want to keep sending people requests. And I also tick this box for to exclude previously followed people. So then I just click, and then you can click save, and it'll save that filter, which is basically what I've done here. My main filter, it's got all those things, as you can see. It's got showing people that I can follow, excluding people that I've blocked, and also ones with pending requests, excluding people that I followed before. They tweet more than 5 times a day. They've got public profiles, has a profile image, and speaks 2 languages, which is American English and British English, or something like that. So basically, that's what I want them to follow, which again makes sense. So you can go then have a play and set whatever parameters you want. And as I say, once you've got them saved, it's easy. You just click one button and it's done. One other thing I meant to show you before we just get going here, and it's cool. It's about setting tags, and I have to go to my profile to do this first. What does I do is I click on my Twitter profile, and I come down to the bottom here under automate, and I click on settings, and I go right to the bottom here, and that basically click auto tag, and that essentially means that it's going to just record everyone I follow, which profile I followed them from. So like now, whenever we go through and follow these guys on Eric Worre's page, it's going to record a tag under each of their names, saying that it's, we followed them on Eric Worre's page. So there, I'm just going back through and clicking my main filter, and it's going to bring it all through there. So now all I do is, again, I'm going to come here and I'm going to follow my people. I just start following because I'm using that macro. Now it's telling me that I can't follow any more people on that profile. So it means I followed everyone that fits these parameters. So well, that's fine. What I do is I just go back through, go and search on Twitter, find someone else and come in there and bring them back and do that. But we won't do that for now for time's sake. What we'll do is we'll just go over, oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Well, I'll go down and I'll tick tag on automate settings. I'm going to go down and that's already ticked. So it's going to tag the people. And I'm going to come back here. I'm going to use Herbalife with that account. Click on that. And again, I'm just going to find people who are not following me, click that, and then on my saved filters, go back over there, my main one, and it's going to bring them all out over there. So again, all nice profiles. You see they all ready to go. So all I do is I can start following them, and I just hold my control key down and my key on my mouse, and it just follows them all. Just look how quick that is, and you can see the counter. Now doing this, it's going to stop me after I do 120. Just going to have a little break so Twitter doesn't freak out, and it's just going to make me take a breather for 30 seconds. So there you can see that. No big deal. All I do is I just click that off. What I normally do is I'm normally commenting. I'll shoot over to my Facebook page and like and comment on a few posts there, and do some more interacting, so it's not dead time just sitting there waiting. I go there, like and comment on a few posts, be social, and so I'm working on my social media first thing in the day, and just do whatever you got to do, and then I'm just going to come back here, and that should have been enough time. I can just start following again. I know I didn't leave it quite long enough. So we'll just go piddle around, like a few more posts. Oh, look at that guy. You can see, and I just do this, so it's going to let me follow another 120 now. That's it. So that's how simple it is. So then I'll just keep going, and up my counter up here, it says I've done 518. So I can go back through and just keep doing that till I've got my 1,000 done. And as I say, to do both accounts, less than half an hour of unfollowing and following. So what I do is I actually keep a spreadsheet of which accounts I'm putting on each of these. So we just go back here. So I'll make sure that, so like Eric Worry is on a spreadsheet where I have this account, and Herbalife will be on this account. So I'll never follow any people on Herbalife on this account and vice versa. So that way I'm building completely separate audiences on each of those profiles. So that way I know I've got like a combined total of 15,000 people I'm talking to. So you can see that's how you scale it. Things I want to quickly just point out: when you set up a new Twitter profile, use a completely different Gmail account and a different phone number. If you don't have a different phone number, don't put a phone number in, because that's how Twitter will cross-reference and establish that you set using same content on similar accounts. But even so, when I'm uploading, just a quick thing that I just wanted to show you when I upload to this is back here on Social Jukebox, like for this blog post when I load it to this profile, I have all I do when I upload the same tweet to another profile, I switch around like one of these hashtags. If I put that like hashtag MLM, I'll delete it out there and put it on the end of the post. That makes it a completely unique post in the eyes of Twitter and Google. Anything slightly changed is a unique post. So that's all I have to do to make it a completely different tweet on each account. So just little things to keep you out of trouble. But that's how. So now if I wanted to scale even more, I could set up a third account and start doing exactly the same thing, build on a different audience. But I suggest start with one, start getting familiar with the tools, and once you start getting a bit of momentum going there, then start up the next account, and it'll grow. And again, just start off slowly. If you've just got a brand new account, I'd probably follow off like 200 people a day and build up over a week or two before you start doing the full 1,000. You want to be natural. You want to be as natural as possible. And it's like anything, consistency. You do this every day. Your tweets are going out automatically, but you want to keep adding to them, follow and unfollow, because every time you follow, as I say, the protocol is the unwritten law. People follow you back, which takes us to the next step of the engagement. So the three things I said I'd cover tonight was how you distribute your content and how you build your audience. So that's the first two things we've done. We distributed the content on Social Jukebox, and we use Status Brew to build our audience. Now I'm going to just show you some little tips just to how to further engage with your audience. And again, this is automated stuff. I don't actually go and talk to people on Twitter. It's like, I tell you, to be honest, I don't even know how or where to find it.
What would you say are some of the small, what kind of small tweaks did you adjust? Like, it's kind of the same question from before. I'm just curious what maybe you have done differently or uniquely that is creating some of your results from this tool.
Okay, that's a great question. And essentially this part of what I'm about to show you is what I was doing differently, because I had none of this set up. And which is basically, as I say, the unwritten law is they're going to follow you back. So what I have set up, and which Status Brew allows you to set up, I've come back down here to settings, and I click on settings, and up here I can set direct messages that go out, and these messages go to their inbox on Twitter. Basically, I've got 3 here, and it all comes back down to tracking this. And this is what I wasn't doing. This is where I've started to tweak things. I just had one message here, and it was too long, so that it wasn't fitting in anyone's profile, and the link wasn't going there. So don't make the mistake. I've learned now, and it's not so important on this one here, because these actually go to the inbox. I don't think it's restricted by the 140 character rule, but I could be wrong. But so stick to it anyway. But yeah, I've just got something simple. I just say like, hey, what's going on? Your follow made my day. Thank you. And to say hi, I made you a quick video. Now this link here, I'll just show you. And again, one of the reasons why you want MLSP is because you can do cool things like this. This is the video I've made there. So this goes into the inbox. It's basically says, thank you for following me. Allow me to introduce myself. There's a quick video. And then it's like I tell them what I do. I say I help network marketers develop, generate leads and sales online. And if they want, they can opt in to get my free training on how to do it. So that this gets messaged into the inbox on Twitter. So that's why I have a capture page now. And as I said before, where was it? Yeah, I've got 3 now, and 3 different messages. They're slightly different. So the other one says, you chose to follow me out of all the people on Twitter. Thank you. I made a quick video to say hi, and it again takes them to that same video. The 3rd message, out of the millions of people on Twitter, you chose to follow me. To thank you, I made a quick video. Now, why and how? Because why do these 3 messages here? What difference does it make? Do you think? Well, let's go and have a look. And this is where what is the little tweaks that as Miguel was talking to. What did I do differently? And again, this is our back office of My Lead System Pro. Check out with Scott and Miguel. You've got to check it out. You have nothing to lose. $10 to do a 10-day trial, and then you can decide whether it's worth it or not. So if you take, if you even, I just can't understand why anyone wouldn't do that, because there's literally no risk. So what I'm going to do is come over here to my links. These are my custom links, which is basically that link that I showed you here. These links here, it's the same link going on each of the end of those 3 messages. So what this Status Brew does is every time someone follows me, it randomly rotates out one of those messages, in rotation. So the first time someone follows me, they get that message. The second person gets that message, and the third person gets that message. What I've done is I've set up a tracking so that I can actually follow which of those messages is going to make any difference. And first of all, you look at it, it's like, well, really, is it going to make any difference there? But I'll just show you. So here we've got, so test 3's had 44 clicks, test 2's had 45, and test 1's 29. Now this has changed just today, because this morning when I checked this one, Twitter 3 was winning. And this one it was almost double, which is, again, it's not quite double test 1, but the wording there wasn't that different. So you can see test 2 is holding its, starting to hold its own. So I'm gonna stick with those 2, or I'll probably what I'll do now is I'll stick with test 2 and change out the other ones, or maybe even those are so close, I might let those 2 run for a while and just change out test 1 and see if I can tweak that one up and get that one going a bit better. So all I do is I'd come to edit that.
I'm just going to throw this out there. By the way, the page that Clive is driving all this traffic to, that is another funnelizer page that he built that holds the video. It's a custom video that he's using to say hello to people. When they follow him, he sends out this message. They watch the video. They decide if they want to opt in. That page he's using is also another custom MLSP page that he's using there. So more benefits.
Exactly. So here's like where I can edit those links. So there you can basically, there it's got the message. So this is where when I can come and see which of those messages, which that message was the one that's getting the better results. So this is it here. What's going on? Cheers for the follow. Your internet web marketing too. How's things? How are you going for leads? So that's the one that's working the best. This is a free training on reveals how, and that's when they go to that link. So that's the one that's working. So interesting stuff. So that's how, you just keep track of it all. As I say, it goes into their inboxes. And so that's why I've got a capture page, because the next one I'm going to show you actually gets tweeted out after they follow me. So they get this message to the inbox, and then the other thing that I wasn't doing before, I've got these welcome tweets. So I've got a direct welcome message which goes into their inbox, which has that capture page on it. This one here, which gives them the opportunity, if they want to opt in. They also get a welcome tweet. So because this is actually a tweet that goes out into Twitter world basically, and it's in the public, I don't have it going to an actual opt-in page. I have it going to a video on YouTube. Now this is where I had, because here you can see how I actually have I don't even know what they're called, available variables. It says users. It's actually going to put the Twitter user's name in there. So when it tweets it, it's going to say, so it'll say like @EricWarry if he followed me. Nice to meet you. Created a short video to say hello, and it'll give them the YouTube link. So because I had these tweets too long, when it brought in the username was using up another 10, 12 characters. So this link was falling off. So for the last couple of weeks, I haven't been, this video hasn't even been showing up anywhere. I only realized it yesterday when I figured out where to look. So a little trap for young players there. So basically I'll just show you, and see that's at 48 views, but it was literally, yesterday was 20. So, and it's had 2 likes. So that's just the last literally the last 2 days. I uploaded it on when did it say? I think it was the 12th of December. So, but then until yesterday, I didn't realize that the link to the video wasn't actually even showing up. So basically all I do is in this video, I just introduce them. I say that, I help network marketers generate leads and sales online. If they want training, they can go, there's a link in the description, which is basically down here, and they click on that and it'll take them to this Twitter training page. And I also ask them to subscribe, and I tell them that they've got the link in there's a link in that link over here. They can subscribe to me by clicking on that link, and I tell them to do that in that video. So I'm pretty stoked. So 49 views in just literally 24 hours really, which is really, really cool. So, but the thing, and this is what's really quite exciting. So this is this is engaging with your audience. So they're getting a direct message after they follow you, and they're getting a message so the reason I've got all these different messages here, because they go out in public, I don't want it all to look exactly the same. So like if 10 people followed me quite quickly, I didn't want the same 10 messages showing up in my Twitter feed, because it will. But these are slightly different. The wording's slightly different, although they're essentially saying the same thing. Here's a short video. Hello, cheers for the follow. So rather, I deliberately try to get out of, everyone says thank you for following me or thanks for the follow as a start out. I try to break it up. So, like followers like you make my day, just little things like that. And so I can keep adding more here as well, just to get a good variety of it. And I have it set here that each tweet goes out just for one person, and I have a maximum of 300 tweets a day. That was the other thing. I set it so that only one person could follow me. I had one person per message, but then I set this as one message per day, so I was getting all those followers and no one was getting the tweet. So again, another little trap for young players. So again, this is making a huge difference in this short period of time. And I will show you here, let's just go and find it, you say, yeah, right, people, what notifications, look here, 95 notifications. And what I wanted to show you, which has been really cool, is like, here, look at this. They retweeted my message, which is basically at their username. You just made my day, and I made a video to say hello. So look there, this one, that for some reason my video link's not shown there, but it's showing down here. So people are retweeting my welcome message. So that's really, really cool. So it looks like the link.
That is very, very, very cool.
And it's everyone. Look how everyone is doing them. They're thinking this is cool. And I've had one of the messages from yesterday was like saying, for a unique experience, follow Clive Jeffrey, see what happens, shit like that. I was like, whoa, that's really neat. S5 would be very cool, you know, and that's again after they've liked and retweeted it. You know, these are all. Here's the video to say hello. 2 likes on that one, just on, and it's just my welcome tweet. You know, so this is just all in the last. No, this is what we're here in the last couple of hours here, 21 minutes, 2 minutes. You know, people are retweeting all this stuff, and it's just all the different likes on all my links. You know, and that's. They again retweeted it. I think
Clive, Jose Seminario, he's hanging out with us tonight. He wants to know, can you use spin text in the message?
You could, yeah, if you know how to do it. Yeah, absolutely you could. If you know how to do that stuff, well, all means do it.
With spin text, what that is, spin text is allowing you to change out the text of your messages. So instead of saying have a nice day, it'll say like have an awesome day. And it will just rotate however many selections or choices you have in there. It's actually really, it's really pretty clever. But yeah, there's your answer, Jose. Yes, you can.
Yeah, if you know how to do it. I mean, because you just want random messages. In fact, they want Twitter tweets to be random. So, but yeah, I'm just scrolling down here just to you know, I'm just amazed myself how many different like the notifications of people to there. Look, retweet, and it's just my. Again, this is my Twitter training being retweeted. You know, cool stuff. So good, you know. So that's really how I'm building up engagement now. So, and this is all automated now. I've said it took me time to set it up, but now it's all going. And again, here's my Twitter training. Heaps of people, because it's all congruent. You know, it's I've actually basically this Twitter training that it's going to where did this that capture page is essentially this webinar that we've just been through. I did the other night, and I'm sending that through as the training. But because you belong to MLSP, you could come in here and then just get a Twitter training that basically we all learned off, and you have it all pre-done for you. And this is what the Twitter page, the capture page looks like. You know, who wants to get 4 million people seeing your tweets each month? And you know, you don't need any technical skills, and you generate the links. You don't have to create your own stuff until you feel like you're ready for it. So can't speak highly enough about MLSP. So definitely reach out to Scott and Miguel, and they'll hook you up with a trial. Yeah, cool, excellent. So yeah, so hopefully that was clear and made sense, and you know, got some value from that.
For somebody just brand new, how would you go about getting your value? Because one of the tips, one of the main takeaways from this that I think and I hope that people will grab and they will understand is that when you switched from just using capture pages or just using like making it seem kind of spammy and switching over to value, like where do you suggest people kind of get that value if you're brand new? Or and also the branding. Can you talk to us about the branding? Because your brand was all over everything that I saw. Like, I mean, is that absolutely essential?
The whole thing about working online is that, you know, it's like, say we're talking about network marketing, for example. How many hundreds of thousands of people are selling the same products? You know, why should people buy from you as opposed to all the other people out there? And unless you can make yourself unique, there's no reason really. So what MLSP teaches us to do is to brand ourselves, and by branding ourselves, you know, you don't need to have fancy stuff. It just means come to me if you want help to build your business. Is essentially what we're all saying, and we do this by learning how to market online. And what we do is teach the people that are one day behind where we are. So if you think you're brand new and you learn how to copy and paste, then you make a quick video, or again, you might need to learn how to make a video. I know I do. I couldn't even figure out how to record off my phone. So that was a learning curve. But then once I did that, I started doing everything that I learned. I just made a little video about it and put it on YouTube. And you think people don't know how to do that, but then you think, well, I needed to learn how to do that. So there's bound to be a zillion other people that need to learn how to do that. So there's always something to create value on. And I find that, you know, if I've asked a question or had to look it up, then I just make a video about it. And that way, when people ask me that question, I say, yeah, I just made a video about that, and I can send them the video. And it's like anything, it takes time. You've got to do it one layer at a time. But MLSP also provides us the opportunity to be able, when we knew, as I showed there with that capture page, I didn't have to create that capture page. I didn't have to create the training. I was just able to share it. That's what you can do too, you know, when you first start out. And to the next stage from that is like to actually watch that training yourself and just do put the training into your own words. So then you become the authority figure. And that's all I've done here is I've gone through this training. I've implemented it, I've taken action on it, got some results on it, now and produced my own training. And that's that's the process, in and out. That's all we do, and each step along the way. And it doesn't have to be as involved as this. It can be as simple as how to record a video on your phone and upload it to YouTube, or how to even set up a YouTube channel, how to set up a Facebook page. And again, if you don't know how to do it, you Google it yourself, learn how, and produce a video on how to do it. Really, that's simple.
Okay. Jose, you're awesome, man. You have cool questions.
Yeah, Jose is awesome. All right.
BTW. Anyway, have you implemented this Twitter strategy for your primary company's products?
I haven't yet, but there's no reason why you couldn't. You follow the exact same formula that I've done, and just how you think of what your primary product is. Who would be people that are interested in that product, or high profile that would be interested in that product that you could search for on Twitter. And even what I know, I start with, I Google list of the top 100 MLM companies, and then going through and put them into Twitter and see what kind of following they each have on Twitter, to see if they're worth using as one of my source accounts. So you could do the same thing if you are into, say, finance, or a mortgage broker. You could look up banks and different banks or different funding facilities that you get your source your mortgages from. See if they've got a Twitter following, and then obviously the people that follow those people are going to be, again, ideal people for you to talk to. So it's just a matter of thinking outside the square, and as I say, I normally go for either high-profile individuals within the niche, or high-profile companies, or even, so for example, weight loss, you'd look at people like those fitness trainers on The Biggest Loser, for example. Maybe for if you're into travel, you could look at people that follow different cruise lines, people that follow, all those kind of places will have Twitter accounts. Airlines will have Twitter accounts that do that. So follow those kind of people. People that are following, because those kind of travel companies might have what do you call them, loyalty clubs. Look for those. Again, they'll have following. So you can think just outside the square, where you're basically looking to where your target audience are hanging out. That's where you can find the people that, and start following them, and they'll follow you back.
That's awesome. That is just identifying your target market and going to where they are. That's awesome. That. So yeah. And essentially, if you were to do this for your primary company and implement it for your MLM, it's the same deal. You do the same strategy. You just pick the right people. So yeah, the answer to that is, there you go. Awesome.
And what you want to think of, getting back to bringing it into the first question there about the different content, the content that you're putting out there. A good analogy is thinking like a long line. If you're a fisherman setting a long line, and you've got all these hooks hanging off the long line, and that's your Twitter feed is your long line, and you've got all these hooks hanging off it, which is all your little pieces of content. And as it's out there in Twitter world, the people flying past it, and if you're setting it in a portion where your people or ideal customers are going to be hanging out, they're going to be passing your content, and it's going to appeal to them, and they're going to like it, attract it, and get attracted to it. And that's what attraction marketing is all about: providing lead bait essentially, for people to hook onto, and then you can then start building a relationship and reeling them in and start doing business with them.
He says, wow, Royal Caribbean has over 197,000 followers. There you go. If you're in travel, that sounds like good people to talk to.
Definitely. Perfect. And it's highly targeted. You can't get more targeted than that. And for free, you've got to be happy with that.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, Clive, did you have any parting thoughts or ideas before we go ahead and end this one this evening?
Yes, I would just like to tell everyone this strategy is great. Hopefully you've seen that it's simple to use, no tech skills required. Start simple. We went over a lot. You don't have to set it all up all at once. Start just rewatch this, hook up with these guys, get the replay, and set it up, step by step, and just keep building on it layer by layer. And you'll notice over time you start getting results. It's no matter what strategy you use, it's going to take a little bit of time to build it up, but this strategy has been proven to work. I like it because it can be automated, or a good percentage of it's automated, and it takes about half an hour a day to keep it running. And it's 24 hours a day. It keeps all your other content evergreen, keeps your stuff in front of your target audience, and as I say, non-techie, easy to do, and cost-effective. So, I can't recommend it highly enough. But it works well because I'm doing it following the principles of attraction marketing taught by MLSP, and I'm using the tools in MLSP to help everything run seamlessly. So again, I can't recommend highly enough to hook up with Miguel and Scott for a trial of the MLSP platform. It is fantastic. Changed my business, changed my life.
Fantastic, and I 100% agree and echo those comments. I could tell you from personal experience, if I had not found MLSP in my network marketing business when I got started, I probably would have quit a long time ago, because I didn't have the skills. I felt like I was out of people to talk to. I didn't have the mindset. I wasn't set in a place to actually be successful in a business, in any business. And MLSP certainly helped with all of that, like from all of the things that we do, from daily motivational calls to learning the actual training, getting around leaders that know what they're doing, and having them help you grow in your business. So when Clive says, hey, MLSP can help you, I know firsthand that he's telling the truth. I know firsthand that he's being real about it, and he understands and believes in it. So if you're watching this right now, and you are not already a member of My Lead System Pro, definitely click the button. I think it's over there. Go click the big yellow button. It says, yes, I'm ready to get results. And yes, you are indeed ready to get results. Go click that button. Let's work together. Let's get some results. You can get inside of the Influence Tribe, start using our promotable page that's available to our members to promote this hangout in any way that they can, and get credit for it. So if you're ready to do that, if that sounds like a good deal, go click the button, fill out the form, and we will be in touch very, very soon. Thank you so much, Clive, for coming out this evening. You are awesome. Scott, did you have anything before we go?
No, thanks everybody for attending. And this will be up in our back office within 24 hours. And I don't believe that we put the replay up anymore. So if you're not watching this, then too bad.
You'll have to find it some way. Come and ask one of us for it. That's the way that you get it. So there you go. And Jose, thanks for hanging out with us this evening. I'm giving you another shout out, buddy. You're saying it's freaking snowing right here in Denver. If you're in Denver, we got to go hang out, man. Talk to you later. See you guys later. Good night, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks again.